That's
that
a
there's somewhere to arrive, that I know that I'm showing up and I can just trust that I don't have to,
that's a huge milestone
yeah.
because it's not uncommon to to say get this far. Lesson, what are we on today? 48.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, to get this far and then and feel like I'm never going to get this.
Yeah.
And the course reassures us over and over and over. You're already home. You got it a long time ago. And so we that's one reason why we cannot fail. So to be able to say I'm no longer afraid that I'm not going to get it is a very forgiving statement that also says, okay, I'm going to trip, I'm going to stumble, I'm going to have what seems like a backward progression in my advancement.
Yeah.
But even those are can be repurposed. There's purpose in everything. Yeah, so it's beautiful. All right. Lesson. Yes, of course. We're on lesson 49. Yeah. All right. So have a comfortable seat. I'll just read this opening paragraph here. What a positive statement here. God's voice speaks to me all through the day. The first thing that comes up for me when I read this statement is that biblical passage that says, you know, all are called, but few are chosen. I think it's in Matthew. All are called, and few are chosen, which puts the fear of God in all of us. Like, what do I have to do to be chosen? I want to be one of the chosen ones. And then we go through all this crazy behavior. We start doing God's work on earth, which always has some form of judgment. God's work, like, I'll go find the bad people so that I'll look good in God's eyes. It's very dangerous and very destructive. And in the text, the course, Jesus clarifies that line by saying, all are called, few choose to listen. Now that, uh, what a sweet, sweet statement. What a sweet correction. So God's voice speaks to me all through the day. I'm being called. It's like the phone never stops ringing. It's constantly there to help me through any situation and any circumstance. And by picking up this course and coming to these classes and these practices with Lisa and I, that alone is a statement that says, I want to pick up the phone. I want to listen. I want a better way. It says it is quite possible to listen to God's voice all through the day without interrupting your regular activities in any way. It doesn't matter what your profession, what you do, you don't have to sit and meditate. You don't have to do anything special. All you have to do is want to listen to it. And we know that I gave that analogy of cleansing an old dusty light bulb. The light is always on, the phone is always ringing. We just have to clear our minds. We have to clear the pathway so that we can hear it. That's what that's why it's a course in miracles. It's a pathway to that, to the miracle. The part of your mind in which truth abides is in constant communication with God, whether you are aware of it or not. It is the other part of your mind that functions in the world and obeys the world's laws. It is this part that is constantly distracted, disorganized, and highly uncertain. doesn't mean we got to go breaking the world's laws. It's not about that. It's just that we obey the ways of the world. We we obey the way the ego set it all up, and we can live by the laws of the world. We can live by the rules, and we can and but we can not make them real. We can participate willingly, be afraid of nothing, and gently awaken so that we may be in the dream but not of it. Like you do, have your first shape here by lying on your back, have your head on your bolster. Now, and bring your left knee towards your left shoulder. Interlock your fingers over the knee. Sink into the groin, sink into the shape, and let gravity have you. Close your eyes. Just feel the compression on both the knee and the hip, and for some of you, even the belly. Lisa happens to go pretty deeply into this shape, but your shape may not look like this. In fact, for some people, it may be hard to interlock the fingers over the knee, so you come behind the knee on the back of the thigh. Settling into the shape, I'm going to read a little more here. The part of your mind that is listening to the voice for God is calm, always at rest, and wholly certain. It is really the only part there is. The other part is a wild illusion, frantic and distraught, but without reality of any kind. Because it's without reality, it's why it's frantic and distraught. Try today not to listen to it. Try to identify with the part of your mind where stillness and peace reign forever. Try to hear God's voice call to you lovingly, reminding you that your Creator has not forgotten His Son. We are the sonship. We are His Son, created in likeness, perfect likeness, which is spirit, has nothing to do with the body, has nothing to do with form. God is perfect love, the one and only perfect creator, and we are creations of His. Lower your foot slowly to the floor. Slowly bring your right knee towards your right shoulder. Interlock over the knee if you can, the back of the thigh if necessary. Find some compression in the knee, the groin, the hip, even the belly and low back for some of you. Paragraph 3. We will need at least 4 5-minute practice periods today, and more if possible. We will try actually to hear God's voice, reminding you of Him and of yourself, your true self. We will approach this happiest and holiest of thoughts with confidence, knowing that in doing so, we are joining our will with the will of God. He wants you to hear His voice. He gave it to you to be heard. Now, the practice is to let the resistance to the hearing, the listening, of God's voice. We want to bring the resistance to the surface. That's the yoga. But every once in a while, the Course is going to instruct us, just slip past everything and join. You can do it. Lower your foot to the floor. Let's see, the first couple principles of miracle is there's no hierarchy in an illusion. There's no order of difficulty in miracles, which means the opportunity to hear God's voice is with us constantly, no matter how seemingly difficult or unusual the circumstance. It's there, waiting to be heard. And it's just this little shift in awareness. Now roll onto one side and push yourself up. You're going to have a new shape today. So you're going to come to all fours and your feet are going to be over the bolster. Toes pointing straight back. And I want the instep and the ankle to be quite supported. So scoot back a little more. There you go. Your bolster should really conform to the instep of your foot. Your knees and your heels together. Let's bring them together. Now, we know Lisa can sit comfortably in this shape, but it may not be true for you. So Lisa's just for a moment going to demonstrate as you start to sink back into that space. Some of you may just get this far, and while you could go back to the earlier shape and bring the knee to the chest, it's the same exact thing, but now we have more weight, more gravity, more pressure. So your shape might just look like this. If possible, it has to feel safe and confident. Slowly sit back. You may sit on your heels. It's okay. Yeah. Soften your structure. Try not to hold yourself up straight. It's not wrong, but we just want to soften. Let the bones do their job. Let the soft tissues release. Above all, we practice peace. Above all, practice listening to God's voice. Now, if the shrieking voice of pain or intensity or demand is overwhelming you right now, then you have in this moment the prerogative and the opportunity to make the adjustment. We don't always get that opportunity in life when life circumstances roll around, but here and now, you have the opportunity to adjust. Maybe it means coming onto your back once again and bringing your knee to your chest. Maybe you need 100 of those before you're able to approach this shape more confidently. So be it. If at any point it becomes too demanding, peace is the goal. Listening to God's voice is the goal. It's one and the same because it's always peaceful. It's always certain. It's always confident. It's always loving. Listen in deep silence. Be very still and open your mind. Go past all the raucous shrieks and sick imaginings that cover your real thoughts and obscure your eternal link with God. Sink deep into the peace that waits for you beyond the frantic, riotous thoughts and sights and sounds of the insane world. You do not live here. We are trying to reach your real home. We are trying to reach the place where you are truly welcome. We are trying to reach God. Keep the peace. Slowly, slowly come back to all fours. Yeah. Okay, and then release the shape. You can push the bolster back, have a seat on the bolster, right leg in front of the left. Heels out by the knees, close your eyes, sit softly, gently, gently curve forward. Now, God speaks to us in many, many ways. The Holy Spirit uses everything to communicate with us. That's why we have to be open to everything. Some people, because of their practice, because of God's plan, will hear very specific words, very, very clear directions. That's a possibility for all of us. But regardless, what we hear in our mind doesn't matter if it comes as a message in the mind or as a message in the people and the places and the things and the events around us. For example, the sensation that you feel in your body, what purpose do you give it? To heal and join, or to create anxiety and worry and separation? And we just repurpose. Slowly raise up. See if you can keep your eyes closed. Slowly come up. Change the cross of your legs. You feel the movement. You feel the sensation. You soften into your structure and you curve forward again. Listen. Repurpose each moment from one of separation to one that joins. What is God telling me? What does God want me to know? How could I be truly helpful in this moment? That's a prayer that will bring deep guidance. How can I be truly helpful? The answer will be given. Slowly raise up. Good. You may stretch your legs out on the floor, sit comfortably. You may lean back against the wall. Yeah. Whatever is comfortable and kind of releasing in this moment, releasing from any of the previous shapes we've had. Slip beyond the ties to the world. We slip beyond our own grip with what is simply not true. Repeating this idea, God's voice speaks to me all through the day. How many hours in a day? 24. But as you go to sleep at night, this is a really lovely prayer, a nice way to drift off. God's voice speaks to me all through the night. Let the Holy Spirit work on you through the day and through the night. We just keep opening our hearts to God's voice. And as an outer symbol of that inner love and light and voice we desire to hear, bring your hands to your heart. Namaste. Okay. Yeah, good. Yeah, I can say that I've had some of my most powerful revelatory experiences in the wee hours of the morning through a dream within a dream. For some reason, that's oftentimes when my mind is so open, I just have these, I just get the most amazing experiences. And so maybe that's true for you. Maybe you'll, it seems like we might, each of us have our own little specific inroads and ways, but sometimes it's symbolically, sometimes it's something that a stranger might say to us. Sometimes it's an old friend calls us up out of the blue. Remember the lesson where it talked about, you know what a phone does. You can pick up the phone and you know what the phone does, but you don't really know what it's for. And so that's this idea. The phone is really for direct, real communication. So now, when we pick up the phone or in everything that we do, we're all ears. I'm listening and I'm waiting and I'm gentle. I'm so gentle and just receptive to it and watching any judgment or any quick reaction that comes in. It's like, no, 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 no. I'm not going to hear if I have that kind of judgment and that kind of reaction. All right. Thank you.